and welcome to the End in Mind podcast. I'm your host, Caitlin, the owner of Meraki Media Management. The End in Mind is a place where we come to share stories, tips, and strategies of many entrepreneurs, creatives, business owners, and just some people that aren't willing to live the traditional lifestyle. We talk about how to live outside of the box today and how to incorporate what really is important in your life to keep that end goal always in mind. Again, if you would like to reach out to me in any type of way, you can find me on Instagram at Meraki_media_management. And I hope to hear from you all soon. Thanks so much and enjoy our show. What is up, party people? Welcome back to the End in Mind podcast. I'm your host, Caitlin. I hope you guys have been enjoying these past few episodes. I really have been embarking on my spirituality journey since 2020, and I wanted to use this podcast, since we're all about personal growth, personal development, to share my experience with you guys, so you know what I'm doing, the healing work that I've been, undergoing, and how I plan to tackle some of these beliefs that maybe have infringed on my personality, my spunk, my goals before, right? Because even with something like Meraki Media, we went through a huge transition at the beginning of December, and then was the holidays, so we were just trying to, make it through the holidays, and now we're at the start of February. Today's February 9th when I'm recording this, and all of January was chaos, to be honest with you guys. So I just want to keep it real, me prioritizing my spiritual journey amongst the chaos is the most important thing to me right now. I know that my business will never be able to produce what my clients long for if I do not put myself first. The only reason why I know this is because I'm literally getting these intuitive downloads, and I'm getting tons of signs from the people that I have surrounded myself with that are reiterating this information to me. So, for example, I knew that in order for Meraki Media to grow, we had to hire a copywriter that specialized in real client copy, right? And we have started working together, and, being able to let go some of that control was really hard for me. However, I know it will build the freedom and the abundance and the lifestyle that I want. So even though I feel like I'm working my little tush off, right, to outsource all of this crap, because what happens when you start to outsource, this is off of today's topic as well. I'm just kind of speaking to you guys, so YOLO, hope you guys are enjoying it. I'm just kidding. Actually, if you are enjoying it, please give me a screenshot, tag me on social media, tell me what you love about this episode, tell me if you guys want me to do more of these thought of the day episodes with you guys. I'm thinking I'll just start to record more podcasts about what I'm actually doing, because I think that journey is actually what teaches more so than me giving advice. Let's just be honest. So I'm going to tell my story and then I'll get to the advice in the end. So hang tight if you're waiting to hear more about caption writing, because obviously that is very important. And this topic lends well into that. As I knew that it was time to outsource, a lot of resistance comes up because of the work that you have to do in order to outsource. I hate systems. I hate organizing things on a computer. If you give me something to organize in a physical space, I am freaking bomb.com at it. I love it. If I have to organize something on a computer, I roll. Absolutely hate that. It must be a generational thing because of my age. I didn't grow up doing things on the computer all the time. Like, I remember I was in type class in like 8th grade, you know, now those kids know how to type like from the time they come out of the womb. I feel like this setting up in order to outsource has brought up a lot of limiting beliefs for me. But I knew that if I didn't continue to push forward on my spirituality journey and I let business and my logical side of my brain take over, it would hinder me in the long run. And I know this because I'm building something that I want to be so proud of, that I want my clients to be so proud of, that I want to continue to see develop and expand. And at my current writing level, I couldn't offer that. And let's be honest, I can't be a million places at once. I can't write all of this copy for my clients. I mean, right now we have a total of 8 clients that are amazing and they're wonderful. And our management side of the business is growing. And without copywriting and being able to outsource that to someone that's very skilled in their field, we will reach a point where we cannot take on any more clients, right? And of course, the management side of the business will eventually be capped because naturally that's just what will happen. You know, my goal is not to run a ton of agencies. My goal is to change lives and help entrepreneurs find a balance between social media and mental health, right? So I hope that you guys have enjoyed these past few episodes. We do have a few more coming out about spirituality into this month as well. It's something I'm just really passionate about. And when I find myself getting passionate about something, I feel as though it's my duty to share it with you guys. So I would just love to know, like, what are you guys thinking about it? Are you liking it? Are you liking these topics? Just give me a rundown, like shoot me a DM, leave a comment, leave a review. You know, I just really want to know how you guys are feeling. I think this lends well to caption writing because if you are not including what is going on in your life when you are writing Instagram captions, people know that you're not being honest, right? If you are not including some sort of lifestyle-esque content, you are doing your brand and yourself a disfavor, right? You're not really doing it justice and you're not doing it to the best of your ability. You know, a limiting belief that always used to come up in my family was, don't give away all of your secrets, you know, and to some level, of course, right? I'm not going to sit here and coach you guys or take you through my entire business Instagram training because I know how valuable that is and it should be paid for, right? So, of course, to some level, that is true. But when it comes down to sharing your life, I think it's actually really important to share this crap that comes up when you are starting a business. No one told me that being an entrepreneur would make me one of the most mentally crazy people. I'll just be honest with you guys. Like, when I first started my business, I was bad shit crazy. Everyone thought I was crazy, right? Everybody talked about how crazy I was. And then I started to believe that. Like, oh yeah, I'm just fucking crazy. Like, that's just the way I am. I'm just crazy. And then I started to realize, no, I'm not crazy. I'm actually just following my feet and I'm following my intuition. I'm following my path. And that's not crazy. That's actually probably one of the most self-aware things that people can do, right? Because the people that aren't following their intuition, and this is not people that are in corporate America, because that could be what their intuition is telling them to do, right? We are our own decipher of what works for us and what doesn't. One of my favorite lines about this is be your own advocate, which will probably be today's episode title. So you are the only person that knows what you need, right? And when you listen to what everyone else's opinions are about what you are doing because of what you need, you're really just letting their limiting beliefs fall onto you. Like, as we've heard over the past few episodes, those patterns come up for every single person that you meet. Everybody has a past. Everybody has a history. Everybody was a little kid at one time, right? It's kind of unifying. And within that unity, we can also start to give each other space. With my coaching practices, we try to give you guys the tools that you need, tell you all of the options so that you can decipher what will work best instead of telling you exactly what you need to do. That doesn't work for me. I've never really wanted somebody to tell me exactly what to do, so I would never do that in coaching, right? At one point, maybe I did because I wasn't acting in alignment. And that's the beauty of starting your own business, right? Like, maybe at one time when you were doing some sort of coaching, it wasn't in alignment with the true you. Well, guess what? You can change that. You can do the work. You can do your spiritual work if that's what you're feeling called to do, and tap into that unique, ideal part of you that so many people want to hear from. They want to know your thoughts. We think differently as entrepreneurs. We do. We think a little bit more riskier. We think outside of the box. We're not afraid to take risks, right? And people want to be inspired. And if you can add inspiration into your Instagram content, you will start converting sales. The reason why I know is because I've done it. Right? We get leads almost once a week off of Instagram for large management clients. This works when you start sharing your journey, offering more inspiration, talking about where you came from and where you are now is amazing. You are fulfilling this for you, right? It's not about everyone else. In an upcoming podcast episode, I share this, but I'm going to share it with you guys now. Through some of this healing work that I've done, it's hard to say this. I have figured out that me becoming an entrepreneur was actually out of somewhat of a people-pleasing energy. And that's really freaking upsetting, right? When you first make that realization that maybe you are doing something that was for other people. And what's even more interesting is that this has been what I've done my entire life. There's maybe not one thing that I've ever done without thinking about other people first. That was a really tough pill to swallow. This is one that I've just discovered recently. I normally don't share these discoveries with you guys this early on, but I think that it's fitting because I think that a lot of the people in my community probably have some of these same feelings, right? Like you're constantly doing for others instead of stopping and asking yourself, what's going to work for you today? What's going to feel good for you today? Not because, you're needed here at this meeting or you're needed to be, perfect and put on a smile and joyous and excited. No, what do you need? And I had never really asked myself that. I just was operating at this high level because I thought that that's what everyone did. And our perception really becomes our own reality. And really what is so amazing about doing this work is that you can really help people, right? Like these discoveries that I've made, you guys, I would have never made in probably 30 or 40 years. Like our circumstances keep patterns coming up in our lives, and we can either choose to look at them and decipher them, or we can choose not to, right? Like that is the beauty of life. You are in control. And when I thought that I wasn't looking at my patterns because, that will just make me less abundant, or that will throw me off whack and then I won't be as productive as I normally am, was really just me acting out of a comfort zone instead of saying to myself, no, I need to look at this. And it really wasn't until it started manifesting in my body, which we will get into next week's episode with Emily. You guys are going to absolutely love this episode. She really gets into why manifesting is so difficult when you don't do this inner work. It's almost nearly impossible. And how to tap into those feelings. She has awesome free resources for you guys, like literally 7 that we'll be adding to the show notes. So definitely have a listen to that episode if this is intriguing you. But long story short is start adding some inspiration to your Instagram captions. Where do you get inspiration? How do you feel inspired by yourself, right? Like, what is one thing that you love about yourself? What is a story that you could share over and over and over again about something that you've done? And it's okay, right? Because a lot of those things that I've done have been partially for other people. And I could go down this rabbit hole of being like, oh, well, then I wasn't really acting out of integrity and that wasn't real and yada, yada, yada. It was all real. I did all of that, regardless of who it was for at that time. It got me to where I am today, and I wouldn't change a thing about it, because now I'm finally stepping into who I am and who I really want to be. Right? Like, this is a journey, entrepreneurship. It's not linear. It's a roller coaster. And as you go up through these growth levels, like I shared with you guys at the beginning of this episode, our business is in a transition. I could either choose to bury my head in the sand, get in the thick of it, and try and make it work, or I could get down to the root of my beliefs and understand why this is, maybe coming up at this time, and who I want to show up with when my business has hit that level up, and who I really want to be, right? Who do I want to be as that CEO? Maybe it wasn't that person that I was before. It definitely wasn't that person I was before. Let me tell you guys, it was not that person. And now I'm really who I want to be, right? I'm checking in with my body. I'm asking myself what I want. And that's what I want for you guys. You can have anything in the world. Just because we were told that we couldn't does not make it true. And I want this podcast to be a place where you can get that inspiration, where you can feel that. Feel it so much that you can take it into your caption writing. Because that's what happens with inspiration. It's energy. The more I pass to you, the more you can pass to your community. The more communities we can start to build together as women, as entrepreneurs, as business owners that are paving the way for these new business owners that are emerging this year, right? We have to show them, you can do this. But I just love you guys so much. And now I'm going to get emotional because I never share things like this with you guys this early, but I really felt called to today. And I hope it encourages you guys to open up about something that maybe you've been holding in for so long that you knew, but you never admitted, right? That is inspiring. That's inspiration. Well, I think that's a perfect place to end this episode. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much for listening to The End in Mind. I would like to remind you all, if you haven't yet reached out to me on Instagram, we are at Meraki_media_management. It will be in our show notes as well. If you would like to reach out to me, we always offer free coaching through Instagram based around our Instagram training and our business Instagram practices. If you need any type of support, please do not hesitate to reach out to me there. And we also offer several different types of consulting and training packages if you're looking for a little bit more in-depth tips. So thank you all for listening in, and of course, I want you all to keep the end in mind as you continue with your day and or work week. Have a great week, and I will see you all next time.